Prince Harry's quiet but striking admission that he would bring his wife and children back to the UK if he could, and that they are missing out on everything, has begun to carry a weight far greater than a passing remark. It now feels like a glimpse into a deeper truth he has held back for years, one shaped by pressure, expectation, and the complex reality of a life lived under constant public scrutiny. Long before cameras followed his every movement, there were signs of an internal conflict, something unspoken that existed behind the composed image he presented to the world. Standing beside Meghan, he often appeared confident and certain, yet insiders suggest there was always another layer beneath that surface, one he chose to protect, even from himself. When he finally allowed part of that truth to emerge, it didn't feel careless or accidental. It felt like a confession that had been building quietly over time. Those close to him now describe a noticeable shift in the way he speaks and carries himself. For the first time, they say, he seems less concerned with shaping a narrative or protecting appearances, and more focused on expressing what he genuinely feels. What is beginning to surface is not the carefully managed story the public has grown used to, but something far more complicated and human. The strain in his marriage, once dismissed as rumor, is now being acknowledged in quieter, more reflective ways. Harry is said to be recognizing patterns he once overlooked, moments of emotional pressure, subtle forms of control, and a growing realization that his role within his own life may have gradually changed without him fully noticing. To those around him, it appears as though he is slowly waking up, piecing together experiences that once felt normal but now seem different when viewed with clarity. At the heart of this realization is a sense of loss that goes beyond headlines or public opinion. What affects him most, according to sources, is not fame or criticism, but distance, particularly from the UK, which still represents a core part of his identity. His reflections on not being able to show his children his homeland carry a quiet sadness, suggesting something permanent has been left behind. It is not simply about geography, but about belonging, heritage, and a life he once understood. No amount of success in California, no matter how visible or celebrated, appears to fully replace that connection. For years, Harry stood firmly by Meghan's side, defending her through relentless scrutiny and criticism. He embraced the role of protector, often placing her above everything else, even as public narratives shifted around her. But those who know him say there has been a gradual and painful change in perspective. He is beginning to see that the version of events presented publicly did not always align with what he experienced privately. This growing awareness has not come suddenly, but through a series of moments that have slowly reshaped his understanding of his own life. One such moment reportedly occurred during a recent wellness summit, where a simple yet deeply personal question, whether he had ever felt he lost himself in love, seemed to catch him off guard. Witnesses describe a pause that felt heavier than words, a brief silence in which his usual composure slipped just enough to reveal something unfiltered. In that moment, the carefully constructed image appeared to fall away, replaced by something more real and vulnerable. It was not a dramatic breakdown, but a subtle shift, one that suggested a man no longer fully able to hide behind rehearsed responses. Now, Harry appears to be navigating a difficult in-between space, caught between the life he once knew and the one he has built since stepping away from royal duties. He is not fully anchored in either world, instead moving through a period of reflection, uncertainty, and personal reckoning. Those close to him describe this not as rebellion, but as a search for clarity, a desire to reconnect with a sense of self that may have been overshadowed over time. As he continues to speak more openly, even in small and measured ways, it becomes increasingly clear that this is not just about public perception or royal history. It is about identity, truth, and the quiet but powerful process of rediscovering who he is beyond the roles he has long been expected to play.